Hey guys, it's me, Mike from In-House Effects, man. I just wanted to show you what I was working on here, or what I have been working on. I posted another video that my daughter did with her iPod. As you can hear, there's a car alarm going off in the background. That's always great when you're recording. Anyway, I should shut it off. What I wanted to show you is just some things that I'm working on right now. Today, it's a pretty nice day. I got everything open. That's the reason you heard the car. And I just wanted to show you, this is my little work table. I initially had, let's go by the computer here. I initially had this table, but as you can see, look at, I have no room whatsoever. Got, some room for some paint and my airbrush and some molds here on the bottom, some masks. I don't know if you've seen them in the other videos or some of the other masks. Trying to get ready for Halloween, basically. Some haunting. I just casted this one today. You really can't see it that well because it's in the mold, and I poured the rubber and it's curing. You can probably see a little bit of yellow. As you can see, I've done the Krites from Critters. And I did this for one of my friends in California. This is The Deadly Spawn. It's an old low-budget movie, and of course one of the little spawns here. Now these are made basically just slip cast rubber, mask making latex, and then of course airbrush. That's why they're hollow, and this is what they look like. Tried to do a pretty decent job painting it. The teeth are really hard only because they're so small. They're real intricate. Anyway, my latest thing I'm working on here is the human heart here. Figured this would be good for throwing on a tray or something like that. And as you can see, I've got my plaster ready. Now what I wanted to tell you is a lot of people do block molds, stuff like that. I chose to actually do a drip mold, which most artists will do a drip mold or a splat mold or whatever you want to call it to get the main coat. Well, rather than pouring it in a bucket and making a big block mold, I'd rather do a drip mold. And this is what a drip mold would look like. All you're doing is basically drizzling plaster over the top, and as you're doing it, it starts to gel, gets to like a putty state, and then you can actually smooth it up. I don't even bother doing that because this is basically almost like a throwaway mold. Here is the inside of the Deadly Spawn, the small one here, as you can see there. I like doing the drip mold. You save a lot of plaster that way, and it seems to work out really well for me. You got to watch out because sometimes you might run it too thin in certain areas, so you got to try to make sure you make it a good thickness all the way around. This is the inside of the Deadly Spawn puppet here. As you can see, it's pretty good, and with a very minimal amount of plaster you can cover it and actually have a decent mold for pouring the latex. I got a bunch of other molds. Oh crap. Got a bunch of other molds too, but I didn't really want to get into it. I just wanted to show you what I was working on now. I'd like to have somebody manning the camera, but actually I don't. So anyway, I got to get to dripping the plaster on this. I'd like to show you me doing that. Actually, I probably could. Let's see if I can try to do this here. Got my little inexpensive big popsicle, jumbo popsicle stick. Like I said, all I'm using here is plaster of Paris. It's probably one of the cheapest. You can do Ultra Cal 30. It's a lot more money, but I'm gonna go with this because it's cheap. Okay, see if I can do it here. Give it a good mix. Get that out of the way. And like I said, all you do is dip your brush in here and start Now what I do with all my clay molds is I spray it with a release agent, Vaseline, whatever you want, silicone release agent. And see, all you're doing here is drizzling it over it. Now I've seen a lot of guys, they'll dip their hands in it and they'll flick it on it. That works really good, but it also makes a lot of mess. And I have rugs and stuff in here, and I don't really want to do that. So anyway, you do all this. You kind of want to get it covered. You're going to have to start worrying about whether you get it in all the detail, like these pockets. You don't want a lot of undercuts, especially when you're doing this. Or if you do have a lot of undercuts, you want to make sure you get them. Because if you don't get them, you're going to have huge air pockets in it, and it's not going to capture all the detail, and not going to work out too well for you. Like I said, this is just for Halloween. It's just going to be a rubber heart. I tried doing it off the computer here, as you can see. There we go. It's adjust right there, just with a picture. So I went from a picture and just sculpted it in clay. Let's see. Drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. Okay, it's actually going pretty good. And it's gonna be pretty liquidy. But that's what you want, because you want to get it in all the detail. And use these little inexpensive chip brushes that you get from Harbor Freight. Love that store. There's a lot of people that like that store. Okay, so I'm going to end up probably having to spin this just to make sure I get around it. But I just wanted to show you basically what I do. I don't, like I said, I could put it in a box, pour a bunch of plaster in there, and be done with it. But I like doing it this way. I don't know, it's a little more fun. I like doing it this way. And I'm going to leave it at that. And I just wanted to show you what I'm working on here. And I'll have some other things lined up, and maybe I can get somebody manning the camera here, and we can get some better footage. Okay, guys? Later. Take care. Okay, I gotta keep going with this, keep covering it, or else it will harden up. Later.